Welcome to the Stealthy Crafter. I'm Jessica, and today we are doing a Wip Chat. If you don't know what Wip stands for, it stands for Work in Progress. And what normally happens during Wip Chats are you can bring out your own whips, or if you want, whatever it is that you guys want to do while you listen to me ramble about whatever it is that I did for the week or whatever. So let's get started, shall we? So this is going to be a day late, and I apologize. I thought I was over being sick. Wasn't. And it became the week of the week of illness in my household all last week. So I'm finally better, but I needed some time to recoup. I slept in quite a bit, so I'm going to just push the video for another day and hopefully be back working on it, like have it posted on Tuesday next week once everything's settled. Hope you guys are doing okay. I hope you guys aren't sick. And if you are, I hope you guys get better soon. Excuse me. I still have a cough. But at least I'm better. But I'm working on feline familiars. I am almost over. These are my last two squares. I kind of pushed myself a little too hard this past weekend once I started feeling a little bit better, and then I just made myself so exhausted I had to go to take sleep in after I dropped the kids off. But I'm almost done, and I can't wait to finish because I saved the best parts for last. Of course, her facey. Of course, the little kitten's faces are adorable too. Let me see if I can scoot this over so you guys can see. You already see one of the kittens, but look at this one over here too. Aw, isn't that precious? Oh my goodness, they're so cute. But okay, anyway, we're gonna take the plastic off, and I can tell you guys about what has happened last week. Not a lot has happened. Like I said, I've been sick, so I've been kind of like a little out of it and stuff like that. So I don't know if this is going to be a shorter Whip and Chat or not. We'll see. But let's see. What color should I do first? This one. But yes. So I guess we could start off on Monday-ish last week. So at that point, I did my Whip and Chat last week, and I said I'm feeling so much better, and that was a lie, apparently. But we did get our AC fixed. Actually later that day. After I finished my video and I was editing it, and we had everything set up, we had to go pick up the kids. So as we're in the line to go pick up the kiddos, we get a phone call from the AC guy, and he said he actually found the part, and that he could come over and install it and everything. So my husband's like, yeah, sure. We're about 30 minutes away from home. We're picking up our kids, So the guy's like, no problem. I'm about that far away too. So basically, we were gonna see each other almost at the same time. Yeah, he was a little bit later, but that was good timing. So that way I could get the kids all settled and get their snacks and start their homework. And yeah, he installed it. It was really quick. I thought it was going to be $450 for just the part alone and then add the labor. No, it was $450 for the entire thing, so that was nice. I really like these guys that work on our AC. They've been really good to us these last few years. So I mean, like, I'm not gonna switch anything. And then he talked about how our other damper needs to be looked at in maybe a few years or so. Because he did say he could put both of them in, but he didn't want us to do that, even though it would be a discount to do both, because the other one looked newer, and it was. It's a few years old now compared to the one he repaired. So, but this one's all fancy compared to the one we got last time. This damper, he says, we can tell if it's it has like some new sensors and stuff and lights, so it's excuse me, it shines, it does green lights and red lights, and he has it set so that way, like, if it starts failing, to only do so much output so we can still get air, but that way we can look at it And if it has a certain light blinking, we call him. We'll call the air conditioning company and to get someone to look at it. So, I'm like, yes, you know, that's awesome because my husband and I never know which one's working or not. So we have at least that one, and then eventually we'll replace the other one. And it'll be like the same little sensors and stuff like that, which would be really cool. Um, like I said, it's been a week of illness. Yeah, so the next day on Tuesday, Jaina was sick. She didn't seem to be sick at all on a Monday. She complained a little bit, but it's like, her normal complaints, and I didn't think of anything of it. And then she got sick by Tuesday morning. We woke up and she was like, I'm not feeling great. I'm not having it. So we're like, okay, we'll stay home. It'll be fine. Because, Michael got sick Friday. It's coming around. It's a giant petri dish here. I'm like, we'll just have to wait for it to go through. And she and I basically stayed on the couch watching a lot of Minecraft videos. This week, I've watched, well, when I say this week, last week, I watched a lot of Minecraft videos, guys. I didn't really get to do much diamond painting, which is why, like, during the weekend, I was like, I gotta do everything. But no, for the most part, I just kind of stayed by the kids and cuddled with them and, made sure that they were feeling okay. But yeah, she was doing good for the most part, and then, and I was, like, debating about whether she should have gone to school, because what happened was we sent her to bed, and then she came downstairs and she was feeling so much better. And I was like, well, it's like 8 o'clock. Maybe we should send her to school. And then I'm like, no, I'll wait. Let's see what happens. And I'm glad we just stayed home because, like, within the next hour, she became so miserable. You can see that she was just not feeling great. She was like, she started having a fever and everything. And then she's like, yep, I'm glad I just decided just to keep her home because that would have not been fun to drop her off at school and then get a phone call saying, come pick her up. So I just, I took care of her and we watched a lot of Minecraft stuff. She wanted to play a lot of catch up to what her sister had watched when she was like a few years younger back then. So I'm like, okay, we'll just watch all this stuff. And then, let's see, the next day, she was feeling better. I made sure that she was, there was no sniffles. I looked at the fever, nothing. It's funny. The kids bounce back so quickly. And and my husband, we were miserable all last week. We got sick. So Wednesday, Nicole complained that she's not feeling good. She's achy, she's hurting. I'm like, okay, you can stay home. And then I started feeling ill again by that night. And then she was better the next day. And this is what irritates me. We started having to wake up earlier. And I'm going to get into that. We'll go back in time again. I just want to talk about the illness stuff. But she said that she was not feeling good, and I was like, okay. At that point, I was already miserable again. I was already shaky and groggy, and I was just trying to focus on getting everyone ready for school. And she looked like she was miserable because she wrapped herself up around the blankets, and she doesn't normally do that kind of stuff. I think what happened was that she was just extremely tired because we woke up so early compared to what we normally do for school time. And she mistaken that as I'm sick. I don't know. I'm just assuming at this point. Because the reason why I say this is after I got Michael and Jaina ready for school, my husband went to go and drop them off, and he was already feeling it too at this point. We both, on that Thursday, we both went to sleep. We were like, okay, we're so exhausted, we're drained. We went back to bed, and I get woken up, at 7:30. And here's how I know why it was 7:30, because my daughter told me it was 7:30. But she took her nap, and then she was feeling so much better. And I was just like, I was in disbelief when she came into my room and was like, acted so indignant about the fact that I was sleeping in, because she goes, "Mommy, what are you doing? It's 7:30." And if I was more awake and I wasn't feeling as bad, I would have probably been like, "What are you doing? I'm sleeping." But at that point, I'm like, go downstairs, like that. I was so tired and not feeling great. So she goes downstairs and she bothers my husband and basically wants to have breakfast. This kid, who's feeling so much better now, wants breakfast, and we're not feeling great. And she knows how to make breakfast. She knows how to make a bowl of cereal. She's done it before. She's even like been so helpful to the point that she makes her brother and sister a bowl of cereal on the weekends. So it's not something she doesn't know how to do. She knows how to do it. She just, I don't know. I'm just, my husband got mad at her because the way she was acting, and said along the lines of like, "We should take you to school." And she was like, "Oh, Daddy," like that. But afterwards, I woke up fully awake. I shower. I get downstairs, and I'm just like, my husband had a little chat upstairs because of this, so I already had an idea. And I'm like, I come downstairs, I'm like, "Hey, how you feeling?" She goes, "I'm feeling so much better." I'm like, "Great. I should have took you to school." And she's like, "Ha ha ha, Mommy." I'm like, "No, I'm being serious. The way you were acting, that wasn't nice. That was a little rude and messed up." She's like, "I'm sorry." I'm like, yeah, if you're able to do stuff, don't be demanding of people. Like, Mommy and Daddy aren't feeling good. We're not able to shake this off like you guys are. And I'm super jealous of that, because I would like not to be sick. Hello? I like to be feeling at least somewhat better. I'm going to take a sip of water. All right? Because my throat's still feeling very scratchy, which I'm not happy about. I even put it in the fridge this time so it's not like lukewarm. Let's see. What else? So yeah, like she got over it really Wednesday night, but she stayed home Thursday, because I was kind of scared that it was going to be another Jaina situation where she feels better, but then she feels miserable. Nope, she felt better for the rest of the day. So it's like, okay, you get a pass. You don't normally do this kind of stuff. So she went back to school on a Friday and had to do the makeup test. They had like statewide testing, so she had to go and do the makeup and did excellent. So I mean, like, she wouldn't miss it on purpose. So she didn't. She did really good. They all did good. I was so proud of them when I got their scores already. So, and we're supposed to get like an official thing, I think in the next few weeks, about what their scores mean and such like that. But they all did like a little bit above average to above average. I have a feeling Michael's definitely going to be in the gifted and talented program next year, with how his scores have gone. I'm not sure about Jaina. She's intelligent too, though. But she's like slightly above average. I don't know what they do, if they like with the slightly above scores, if they keep that, if they like what they do with it, because Nicole for a moment was like slightly above and then went so we'll have to see, I guess. And then that means a lot more work for me. Excuse me. And for the kids, I don't know if Jaina can handle that, because it's a lot more studying, and she gets grumpy when I have to make her study. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. What else was going on? I guess we could backtrack a little bit and talk a little bit about WoW, and then I can start talking about other subjects that have happened. So we finished Castle Nathria again last Tuesday, and we decided to do like just one mythic that day, but it was nice. It was nice to be able to be over with it really quickly. I found out a certain thing that I messed up with. I don't know if I mentioned this because my guild leader, she was just like very much aghast about what I did. um, I was complaining about the whole dance macabre part, and she was asking me how many squares I went, and I forgot how big the squares were. So I said about I was like, okay, I think it's like 3 or 4, and then I told her, and she goes, oh, "You're not supposed to go that far," and she's like, "You're only supposed to move the 1 square," but and then when I was rewatching the videos, I'm like, oh, I think I've gone 2 squares. I'm since I have like speed boost stuff, like so I walk a little bit faster. She goes, no, just go the 1 square. Just go the 1 square. And to that day, for the first time, I did it. Even I was like, I told her, I'm like, I'm doing it exactly like doing the exact walk. It's like, doing the whole up, right, left, down whenever they're saying it, But yeah, it's just the 1 square. But you know what? None of the videos say 1 square. It just says follow the instructions. I'm going to point that out. But I told her we should not speak of this. We will not speak of this to anyone. I mean, I'm speaking it to you guys, but you're not in my guild, so. But we will not speak of this. I was so embarrassed. She laughed at me. I'm like, how can I miss something like that? I'm so surprised. But yeah, that was the thing. So that was something that I did on Tuesday, and then we did like one of the harder mythics right after, and I was like, after that I was like, I'm tired, I gotta go to bed, goodbye, good night. They wanted to do stuff on Wednesday. I did sign up initially for it, and then as I'm talking to my guild leader, like my friends, I was like, I'm still feeling sick, I don't feel great. And she goes, go to bed, which is like, okay. I signed out instead and went to bed early. I actually went to bed early a lot last week. Compared to this week so far, I've gone to bed early. But it did not help me in the sleep department, because I would wake up really early as well, before my alarm would go off, and then I wouldn't be able to sleep, which is what happened Wednesday night. I went to bed early because I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I'm so exhausted. I'm falling asleep in the chair. Excuse me. I'm going to bed. And I went to bed, and then I woke up like 2 hours later, and I'm just like laying there going, I can't go to sleep. So I had to scroll on my phone because there was like, I literally could not go to sleep. I was like shaking and shivering. Like I kept getting hot and cold. And then finally was able to go back to sleep, and then woke up, right before the alarm went off, and I was just like, this is not good. So yeah, it was no wonder, Thursday morning I wanted to sleep. But then for Thursdays for WoW stuff, we did some more mythics. It was I'm still having a hard time. At least I did not have the week that I had last week. Last week, for some reason, not last week, but the week before, for some reason, I was just a total klutz, and I just kept dying all the time. I mean, like, I wasn't doing the best this week either, but at least I wasn't, like, just constantly getting into, like, death traps and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's just because I'm not feeling 100% and I'm not focusing or what, but yeah, I after a certain point, I think I did only 3 with them, and I just went, I'm sorry guys, I gotta go to bed, I'm so tired. Because they were kind of like, let's go, and I would, but at the same time, at this point, I'm waking up really early now compared to what we normally wake up. Well, when I say really early, it's not really early. Alright, so that's the WoW stuff all wrapped up. We've done really good. I won't mention about some stuff today and everything because today is Tuesday, so it's going to be our new, the new, well, when I say new, it's like the next raid thing, which is, I think, Sanctum of Dominations, and I don't want to do that one. It's not going to be fun to do, but whatever. Um, but I'll let you guys know how that went next week. um, so we'll go back in time again, I guess, for a little bit. But so our school for the kids has filled up. I think I mentioned this. The school has filled up like crazy, um, uh, and it's gotten hard to pick up the kids and also drop them off now. So and it was like preschoolers started coming in that week, and at that point it was only like fourth of pre-K for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. They only did fourth, and then Friday was supposed to be the entire group. Well, we were already noticing like how bad it was starting to get for a couple of the days, and then my husband noticed it. I was only there for Monday and Friday. I really wanted a break of a week, but I didn't get that break because I watched the kids. But he noticed that it was like getting a little too hard to drop the kids off, and I noticed one day he actually took longer to get home than what he normally would, and it was because he was just stuck in line so long compared to what we normally do. So our normal schedule used to be we wake up at 6 o'clock, we have the kids ready by 7 o'clock, and we leave the house by 7:05. Normally. I mean, like, sometimes there's a little bit, ups and downs on it. But we would get there, like 7:11, and then drop the kids off. We would maybe wait 3 minutes tops, 3-4 minutes tops while we're in line. And then, drop them off, and we'll be home by 7:20, 7:20-ish, maybe 7:25. This time, now, because of how big the wait is, some people who are in line to, like, even to drop their kids off for breakfast aren't getting their kids breakfast because they shut the whole thing at 7:25. They'll be waiting like 10 plus minutes in line to drop off their kid, and they can't. So my husband and I woke up now at 5:50 in the morning. Yeah, 5:50 to 5:45. We get the kids ready to go, and then we leave at 6:40. We get the kids out of the house at 6:40, and then we are actually leaving by 6:45, trying to, make sure we're around that time. And then we get to the school, and yes, we are right there at the school gates, and we have to wait the additional 15 minutes before they open up. And yeah, we have to wait longer, but at least at this point, we know the kids are actually getting into the school, and they won't be late. Because our fear is, like, if we leave maybe like 10 minutes later, we're stuck in that line, and there's a chance that they actually could be late, even though we were in the line, way before school, started. So we're like, okay, all right. So we're like, so my husband's like playing some stuff and things like that to keep them entertained. And we've done this for 2 days, like, where all of us are now together instead of like, one of us always being sick. So, I mean, if you count Wednesdays, not Wednesday, if you count Friday, it's 3 days. But for the first 2 days this week, it hasn't been too bad. We actually left a little bit later today. And we were a little further back, but it wasn't too bad. So we might change it to 6:50. So that way I have a little bit extra time to get the kids' hair, fully combed, because I do have their hair combed. It's just that I would like to do like a little kind of cute hairstyles with them and stuff. Let's see. I'm too busy waving my hands and not doing any diamond painting. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to think about some stuff that we've actually did do for the week. Because, yeah, I've, like, with their testing, so luckily they didn't have homework for the most part, because I think I would have cried trying to stay awake and trying to help them out with testing. So I'm a little grateful for that. Well, trying to help them out with homework. So, but this week they have lots of homework. Isn't it always weird that how the twins always seem to get more homework than Nicole? Because it just feels like that way. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just because there's two of them and that I feel like that's a lot of homework or what. But also Nicole likes to do her homework when she's in the line. So I guess I could talk a little bit about this. Oh my goodness. So she loves to hang with her friends so much, right? But we don't get to see her until 5-ish if she has her way. Well, she'll like literally come home. She'll go, "Can I call so and so?" My husband and I are like, "Well, we would like to talk to you first. And, do you have your homework?" "It's already done," and I'm looking at him like, "Yeah, it's done." And she's just like, "Can I go?" I'm like, "Have a snack at least." "I'll have a snack over there." I'm like, "I don't want you having a snack over there. I don't want them feeding you. How about, you actually eat here for once." But yeah, oh, that one has a hole. We don't want that. We'll move this drill out of the way once I can get a hold of it. There we go. But yeah, so she's like, she seems fast. So I don't know like this how complicated her homework is or anything like that, because she just does it like during like little breaks and stuff like that, so she doesn't have to do it at home. She did that last year too, so so I don't know what the twins are going to do in the next few years. But let's see. But with Michael and Jaina, I have to do about 10 minutes of a reading thing on their tablets every day is what they told me. So like all 5 days they have to do this reading thing. And then for the 4 days they have to do a math like they have to work on a math paper assignment, and then they also have to study their spelling words. So I'm like having, I think like with everything with them, it's about 30, maybe 35 minutes of homework. And with Nicole, if she didn't do her homework at school and she has to do it at home, hers is like 10. And I'm just like, there's a discrepancy here. Because I don't remember her having this much homework when she was at a second grader. And especially at the very beginning of second grade. Is there something wrong here or something? I don't know. I just, maybe it's just me. I don't know. But so far it seems like Jana's doing okay with her words and stuff like that. We've been working on a lot of the things. And what was funny was yesterday, I'm going to talk a little bit about yesterday's stuff, even though I should save that for next week. She started doing her math homework, and Michael has adopted Nicole's thing of get through it fast so I can do the thing I want, and I don't pay attention to what I'm writing. I know, it's a big thing. A big long sentence, I'm sorry. So he zooms through his homework. And he hands it to me and runs off. And I'm checking over it, and I'm like, I'm seeing some mistakes here and there because he read it wrong, of course, because he just wanted to get through it. It was like about doubles facts. It's like use a doubles facts and tell me if you need one more or less to make the equation. And I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, this is all wrong. He has the answers, like, of what the doubles facts is, and also what the actual equation is. And I'm, like, about to call on him, and then Jaina hands me her paperwork. And hers was all right. I mean, like, yeah, she took a little bit longer, than what he would have done, but she read her instructions. So, I had to call Michael in, had to go and point it out, and then he goes, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah, you might want to change your answers, bud." Like I was like explaining it. Like I don't give him the answers. I do say, "Hey, can you look at this again? I think it could be wrong." So that way I give them a chance at that, because they need to make sure that they're checking their work and everything. Jada did mess up with one thing, but it's understandable because she's not used to answering like the questions that like circle two or more answers. It's always been like circle one answer. So I'm like, hey, kiddo, you got this right, but did you know that there's another answer on there that's also right as well? And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, look, see the instructions? It says circle two correct answers. Do you think you can find another one? And so that way she doesn't feel like I'm like, berating her or anything like that. So she was able to find the second answer. I'm like, there you go, like that. And she actually did pretty well with her reading assignment. She likes reading compared to Michael. Michael, even though he has, like, he's smart, like, he's intelligent, he hates reading with a passion unless it's something that interests him, which, I mean, I get, but it's just like, dude, you have to pay attention to the reading assignment. I know sometimes it doesn't, it doesn't interest you, but you gotta pay attention and answer the questions correctly. So we'll see how this year is going to go. It is like crazy already. Like I'm just like I'm shocked about all this stuff. And then like they're already starting to talk about fundraisers in this school, and I'm like, we're not even a month in, guys, and we're already talking about doing fundraisers. Oh, good lord, I don't want to do this. Sorry, my mouth is really parched. I've actually been doing this for 30 minutes. I thought I wouldn't have as much to talk about with how sick I've been. Let's see. I have something funny. I'll talk about a little bit more about school. But yesterday we were. Oh my god, this is my son. Like my son, he with his potty humor, I guess would be the best way. We had to go pick up groceries at the store. We went to go pick up at Food Lion, and we picked them up. We go to the store. We're in the line to for them to drop the groceries in our car and everything. My husband goes in really quick because we had an announcement from Nicole saying that she lost her tooth, and we're like, oh, you lost your tooth. While he and I looked at each other going, money. Okay, so he had to go in the store to get a few items. So while he was doing that and I was waiting for the person to drop the groceries off, Michael's just starts saying, this is taking forever. I'm like, it's not taking forever. Oh my goodness, my butt's gonna fall off. I'm like, your butt is not going to fall off. It's gonna fall off from waiting so long. I'm like, stop being dramatic. You'll be fine, Like, I'm trying to shush him before the worker hears him going on and on about his butt falling off. And then he goes, when's Daddy coming? Is Daddy gonna come before my butt falls off? I'm like, well, I see Daddy walking. He goes, oh no, my butt's about to fall off. I'm like, your butt is not about to fall off, dude. I promise. Oh my goodness. I don't know what got into him. But he thought he was humorous. I mean, like, he was. But I was not going to let him know that I thought that was funny at all. Can you imagine? He finds out that I think some of the stuff that is funny, and he's going to just keep going on and on about it. No. So, also, one of the things, the poor guy. So, I mean, like, even though we're talking about potty humor and stuff, the poor guy. So, since they're both Michael and Jane are in second grade, they're starting to find, things are a little different. Everyone acts a little differently now. People have now started going, instead of like boys and girls played together, that line of, girls do this and boys do that, even though I tell them that it doesn't matter. The school, a lot of the classmates, apparently their parents don't teach them that or something. But yeah, he was like telling me about some of the girls that he used to play with don't want to play with him anymore because he's a stinky boy, and he was yelling at them because he goes, I'm not stinky, I take a shower every day, and I'm like, oh, poor little man, because he was really upset. And on Friday he was complaining about the fact that so the girls in his classroom, someone had a birthday, and she invited a lot of the girls to the party, but not him. And he was saying it was not fair. Why is that happening? And I was just like, oh, my poor little man. And it's just like, it's weird because none of them really have been invited to birthday parties, except Nicole. Nicole keeps getting invited to birthday parties, but for some reason, Michael and Jaina haven't really, gotten really a lot of invitations. So it's just like, I had a hard time trying to explain it to him, and my husband tried to as well, and he was still sad, and I was just like, it'll be okay, little man. You'll get invited. You guys get invited. And then of course, Jaina pipes up with like, I've been invited to. Sorry, I was invited to a birthday. I'm like, okay, it's tomorrow. Are we going to go? Sorry. And I'm like, okay, do you have an invitation? She always does this. She tells us that she so and so invited her to do a thing. And I'm like, okay, where's the invitation? I don't have it. Do you know where the address is? No. Do you know, the so-and-so? No. Like, I'm like, how are you supposed to go to a party? Well, I want to go to the party. How? I'm trying to explain it to her. Like, we can't go to a party if we don't know how to contact the parents, if we don't receive an invitation, and so on and so forth. And it's just like, I don't know. And, oh my goodness. I'm just, I don't know how this is going to handle this year with how everyone's starting to open up with more parties and stuff like that. I guess we'll just take it one day at a time. But let's see. What other funny things have happening? So we've gotten, we had to start doing, we've been doing like not bag lunches, lunch bags for the kiddos. And we've been like putting like little sweets and treats in their lunch boxes at times. And we had to, for 2 days, I think last week, because my husband and I were just so sick and not feeling great. My husband let them have a school lunch. And my son, who's lactose intolerant to a point, like he can have ice cream and cheese and stuff like that, but if you just give him milk, he's miserable. So he's all like, I'm going to drink the strawberry milk there. I'm like, no, you're not. Because that's the new milk that's gotten into the school. And, everyone's talking on and on about this strawberry milk that they want to try. And I'm like, nope, you can't do that. Here, have a Capri Sun. And he was so mad at me. I'm like, I am not wanting you to go to school, get lunch while mommy and daddy are not feeling good, and decide you're going to drink strawberry milk and then be miserable and then have us come pick you up while we're feeling miserable. No, ain't happening. So yeah, that was not good. Oh well. We were discussing about, I think this last thing. I ordered a couple of things. Oh, actually, a few more things. Not one last thing. So okay, we'll go with the one that I'm really excited about, and the other one I'm excited and disappointed, I guess. Okay, so today's my Craftly order. Okay, so I'm excited about that. So that's why I'm like really wanting to get this done, because that pre-order that I had way back in December is finally coming today, and it's almost, I would say it's like 8.5 weeks. It's been 8.5 weeks, 8.5 months since I've ordered this. And it was supposed to be like way back in spring. But excuse me. But I'm like kind of conflicted on what I want to work on first, because I pulled out Warm Witch to work on for September, and I'm thinking I want to still work with that, but I also want to work on Mittens, Destroyer of Worlds, because that's perfect for a Halloween theme. But I don't know. I'm like, do I work on Warm Witch and then I work on Mittens? Do I work on Mittens and then Warm Witch? Because Warm Witch, she's like, she's sitting by the windowsill. She's drinking her coffee. She's floating a book in the air. And I feel like that gives good September vibes. But then Mittens, it's a cat who's sitting on a pile of books, and he has all this magical energy going around him. And that, I feel like that gives good October vibes. But, so I have my things planned, but at the same time, I really want to work on Mittens because it's brand new and I'm just like, I haven't seen people work on it and I'm like just really excited about it. So yeah, I'm really conflicted. I am going to do an unboxing on that. I know it's been over a month since I've done an unboxing, so I'm a little out of practice. I hope you guys forgive me once I do it. I don't know if I'll have the unboxing this week or next week. We'll see. But I'm really excited. I'm hoping that it gets here sooner, but from what I looked at my schedule, from what they said the schedule would be like later in the evening, so and I have Ray to worry about and editing this, so I probably won't be able to look at it until tomorrow. We'll see. I'm just excited. But if you guys know what Mittens looks like, I don't know if I have a picture readily available for it. But what do you guys think? Do you think I should stay with Warm Witch for September and then put once that's done, then work on Mittens, or just do vice versa? I don't know. So that's one thing that's been going on in my mind. Another thing is I'm also going to start working on cross stitching a little bit. I don't know if I can I know I can show you the stuff that I know I can't show the pattern. But like on days where I want to do like I guess a whip and chat and I want to cross stitch, I don't know if I want to, if I'm able to like really cross stitch this or not. It's the Dark Queen of the Earth. That's a stitch along and it's supposed to start in September and I'm like really excited. And my fabric's going to be here September the 1st and I have almost all the thread that's needed except for the rainbow, petite rainbow thread. So I'm trying to keep an eye when that's available because it's like saying that it's out of stock, so I gotta wait till it pops back up and so that way I can get it. So yeah, I'm going to be working on that this whole month. Well, it's going to be for a year, but that's like my new project. I'm like excited because I haven't really done any cross stitching in a long time. I've only really worked on Ada, but I wanted to learn how to work on like linen and stuff like that. So I got a 28 count opalescent linen. I know I'm probably going to hate myself, but I want to try it. But I'm really excited about that. So I have that going on soon. And then I've been buying a lot more cat stuff for the household because my husband and I are determined. We're ready. We're ready. We've been ready to get a cat. And we almost got a cat Sunday because I've been scouring like ever since like the day before school started, and my husband teased me with showing me kitty pictures from the Humane Society. He I've been just looking at them going, oh my god, look at the pretty kitties. And then there was like this one kitten who I fell in love with. But my husband and I were talking that we wanted younger kittens instead, just to grow with the family, especially for our children that have that kind of energy, because we didn't want to get an older cat who doesn't have as much energy, especially and could be skittish around children and stuff like that. But this one, I was like, I don't care if it's an older one. I want this one because the poor thing, usually cats go fast. So he was still on the website for over a week, and my husband's like, do you really want this cat? I'm like, yes. He goes, okay, we'll probably go, Sunday. I'm like, all right, awesome. And then I check it again that night while he was talking to his mom, and he got adopted. And I'm glad that he finally got adopted, but I'm like, oh, because I'm like, I wanted to adopt him. And my husband's like, it's okay, we'll get one eventually, This has been in the talks for years since the twins were like toddlers. We didn't want to get one when they were younger because of how cluttered the house was. Now that there's more room, less toys now. We feel like it's time. The kids are old enough to handle having a pet around the house. I miss having a cat. I haven't had a cat since I was 19. Um, and the reason being was because, when we were living in apartments and stuff like that, just, trying to, having a cat, like move from place to place, I didn't really want to do that to a cat. I was swore, like, the moment we would get a cat is the place when we have a place that's essentially a home that we're staying for a long term or a forever home or something like that. And I just did not want to uproot a cat over and over, and we moved constantly when I was younger, before we had our children and stuff like that. Like, when we first decided we were going to stay in the area, we stayed with his parents. Then we stayed, I think we stayed with a family friend. Then we moved into an apartment. Then we moved to a different apartment. We went back to a family friend. I think we went back to our family friend like 3 times. Then we moved to another apartment. Then we moved back to a family friend. And then we moved into this house over the period of, let's see, how many years? Goodness. Because there's I know one, like, 2 apartments was only like a year. And then one apartment was like 2 years, almost bordering on 3 years. But let's see. But yeah, it's just like we're like it's been time. We've been talking about this, and I've been like I already got the cat carriers for the animals. I gotten like a litter box. But my husband's like you could be too. He thinks that I'm also, because I didn't want to get a cat just yet, because I wanted to prepare, and he's like, well, there is such a thing as over preparing, because I'm like started overthinking it. I'm like, well, we could get the cat food right now, but what if it's eating a different brand, and then we would have to mix it in, because he and I were talking we were thinking about definitely doing more of wet food for cats compared to dry food. And if they're feeding them the cat's dry food, we'll have to buy the dry food brand that they have and then slowly integrate it into wet food. But, like, what if the vet says to use a different wet food, like that? And I was like, the same thing with litter. Like, I want to use this kind of litter stuff, but what if, they're used to this? And then we got to integrate, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you're overthinking things. And I am. Because I was like, well, we could get them toys, but what if they don't like these kind of toys? What if when the ones that we adopt like a different type of toy? Because I wanted to get prepared, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know if I should prepare, because what if the cats don't like the stuff that we get? But I think right now, litter box, I got a cat bed now. We ordered a cat bed. I'm going to probably get a small scratching post for the area. I don't mind if they tear up the old couch that we have, but I don't want them to learn that that's okay. Because once we get a new couch, I don't want, them to think that, they can start doing that to that couch. So, yeah, definitely a scratching post. So that way they can learn that's where Hugo scratch, not my couch. Let's see, what other colors do I need to work on? This one. Let's see. So yeah, it's just I've been slowly preparing, and I've really missed having a cat. I really do. My husband says that he missed having an animal too. Like, he and I have both had animals in our family for a long time. I grew up like with a lot of indoor cats. My cat is not going to be an indoor cat. It's going to be a solely indoor cat. Because I've seen how like the ways my cats have passed away because of the outdoors. I don't want that happening to my cats. Plus, my cats, were like hunters. And I was grateful for it. The place I lived at, because the place I lived at was not really a decent place to live. So they would catch a lot of mice and rats for me. But then there's also the birds and rabbits they would catch as well. And I was just like, one time I remember freaking out because they caught a rabbit, and I was just like so angry. My grandma said, no, you can't chastise them for that, because they're just giving you a gift. And I was like really young at that point because I was just so upset. But I learned not to do that. But oh man, like I'm like, yeah, no, they're solely indoor cats. Any cat that I adopt is going to be that. Um, and then, um, yeah, my husband's like, he told me like how he had like, especially when he lived with someone, he had like lizards and rabbits and cats and birds and a dog, and I'm like, good lord, you took care of a lot more animals than I did, because I growing up, most of my family had taken care of dogs and cats, and then we also had the stray parrot. My grandma had a parrot, and then once her parrot died, we had cockatoos. Loud, noisy. I will never have a bird in my house. I like my peace and quiet at times. I will never have a bird. They're pretty. I like how they look, but they're not staying in my house. But yeah, we're just discussing it. I've been keeping an eye on the website, and there's 2 cats that I fell in love. It doesn't matter what kind of cat I get. I just, want a cat that's suitable for our house. But if I have to, I love torties. I love tortoiseshell cats. They're so cute. I never had one. I've had tuxedo cats. I had tabby cats and calico cats and gray cats. Like I said, my parents, my grandma brought in a lot of strays too. So that's how we had a huge cat collection. And they came in my life. So I think the max cats that we always had was 3. But and then like the cat that I owned, not inherit, because my grandma, when she passed away, she gave me her cats. But the cat that I fully owned with was I don't know if she was really a Turkish Silk fan, because but I think she was like at least partly that. She had all the markings. She was so fluffy too. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I had her, like, and then I had a calico. I had a tabby named Kit Kit, and then I had a tuxedo named Boots. So I really would like to have a tortie. It doesn't have to be a thing. If I don't, it's okay. But I really want to have one, just so, they're so pretty. And there's one in the shelter right now. Husband and I can't really go to the shelter this week. We've been debating about whether we would have the kids come with us, or they just, we'll pick it up at school. But the shelter doesn't open till like 11, and it takes an hour to get there, and then doing the paperwork and the adoption process, and then coming back will take another hour. So it would be kind of cutting it close to getting them picked up. But I don't know if we ever have time during the weekends to go get a cat either. So it's just, we will get one sometime. I don't know when, but we will get one. But yeah. Oh, the news about the minivan. We've definitely decided we are not keeping the minivan. We haven't completely decided what we're going to do just yet with it. We know we're going to sell it. We still haven't decided if we're going to sell both cars, just the one car, sell it for a down payment immediately for a new car, or what. It's just, that's up in the air. We know for sure we're selling it, because we're not dropping $4,500 into a car that's not worth $4,500. You know what I mean? We've done that before. When my husband had like a car, way before we got in a car that I loved. He dropped like $2,500 into fixing like the belts and stuff like that, and then like a week, a week later, the window refused to go up and down. It just stayed down, and we couldn't bring it back up. And my husband's like, that's it. I'm tired of putting money into this. It's a money pit. So when we went to go sell the car, it was only worth $2,000. We put $2,500 a week or two before, and then it was only worth $2,000. I'm like, no, that's so messed up. But I'm going to finish this up. Hopefully I'll finish this today, before my raid starts, so that way I can start kitting up one of I can't figure out which one I'm going to kit up, but I'll be kitting it up. I'll probably take a break diamond painting tomorrow. Wait till September 1st, so that way I can do everything officially. Think I'm going to actually start tackling cleaning up the entire house since I'm now feeling good. I got stuff I need to organize. But I'm going to leave it off here. I actually went almost an hour. I'm surprised. I didn't think I had that much to say. But I hope you did like this video. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye!